Alright guys, welcome. I'm making this to share the fundamental, which nobody likes to talk about, especially in the organic dropshipping space, and that's the mindset. So the first thing I would like to talk about is discipline, because for us to be creators, we actually need to be consumers. And it's really hard when you have to consume literally like more than an hour a day. You could fall into the trap of consuming more than what you need and then thinking it's actually beneficial for you. So you need to consume constructively. So every single day, set apart like 30 to 60 minutes, whether it's while you're eating, while you don't want to do it like a brain rot sort of doom scroll. There's a lot of terminology for it, but the best way to put it is to constructively sit down and do market research. It's completely different from just, doom scrolling. So primarily I would have three burner accounts. One of them is for AI content, one of them is for dropshipping content, so products, and then the third one is just for current trends. So creators creating different things with no intent to sell you. Okay. So I would do some day for AI, another day for, products and so on, just to be aware of what's going around me so that I could maybe take one idea from here and then from there and then create my own thing. So that's one of the benefits. The other benefit is that it reminds you that you're not the only one in the game. Oftentimes in this journey, you're going to realize, or you're going to feel like you're the only one, like you're alone. You're the only one who's failing, losing, because every single time you open YouTube, for example, everyone's making 10K plus a day, 100K months, and so on. So it's going to be, like I'm telling you from now, you're going to see these days, okay? And it will require you a lot of discipline to not feel, either crippled, so it will lower your productivity, or even quit. So be prepared for these days. And that's the first thing. The second thing is more about, once again, being stoic, but I don't even like to just say being stoic. It's more about ignoring what's going on right now and then keep on performing as if you already did it. So being delusional, okay? This is primarily, I would say it's the primary thing which I had to adopt at I would say more than 2 years ago for me to be here today. So being delusional is detrimental to your success, because even though everything's failing, you have this smile that you're gonna make it work, or this confidence that you're gonna make it work. So the next time you are testing a product and it fails, instead of thinking about, oh, I wasted my time running this product, think about the benefits, like the skills that you built by running this product, whether it was the organic marketing skills, you creating the product, or whatever else. So every time you feel like you're taking an L, turn it into a W. Okay, so take it as a lesson, not a failure. So that's one. And then two, always have like a vision. So right now I'm telling you, the only way to actually win is to have a brand. So be delusional, even if you're picking a product today, okay, and you have competitors who've been in the space for 3+ years. Be delusional that from day one, you're going to be the best, okay? But then also link it to hard work. I don't want you to just have, self-esteem without actually putting in the work. And then, unfortunately, I'm going to be honest, like currently a lot of people, they just stitch or steal other people's content, and they have this high self-esteem. You only earn it if you actually put in your own effort. So might sound a bit controversial, but this is my honest opinion. Unless you create AI content and you're really good at it, then I would give you respect for creating the good content. But you need to build the skills, because this is the third thing which will actually, eventually I started feeling. You feel safety when you know that it's no longer about the product, it's about you. When you build the skills, and this is one thing which I really want to highlight because nobody likes to talk about, is the truth. It's not about the product, it's about you. And by the way, there's a lot of testimonials, okay? And I can tell you one thing from now, okay? If you are afraid that one day you're gonna dump your product, which is making you like 10K plus a month, you shouldn't be even feeling that way if you know that you've built the skills. So the main difference between us who actually build product, like go viral with our own hard work versus people who just stitch. So the stitching is the new pump and dump, by the way. So we're gonna call it from now on people who do pump and dump versus people who do branding. It's non-negotiable at this point. Pump and dump is stitching and AI backshipping. Period. So the main difference is that no matter how long we run the branded products, even if we go down to zero, we have the skills to either provide it as a service to other businesses and get monthly revenue, okay, or to build a new brand. So at the end of the day, you are the business, not the product. But then with pump and dump, you're one update away to going back to zero. Or, once you dump the account, which you probably gonna have to because it's a pump and dump, right? So one day you're gonna go back to zero. So be confident about the skills that you're building over time, not the numbers. And it's really important, especially when you start scaling. So getting your first $100 a day, $1,000 a day. Eventually, you're going to be so linked to the numbers you get every day. And this is the biggest trap, okay? It's a mental trap because my first time hitting my first 1K day, 2K day, obviously the dopamine was across the roof, but I noticed that my input, so I was working harder on these peak days, right? But then whenever I would get less than that, I'd feel subconsciously less productive. And this is a problem because, once again, you need to be delusional or like stoic that regardless of the dashboard, the numbers on the dashboard, you put in the same amount of work. So delusional can be in different ways. So whether that was being productive and putting in the work regardless of the numbers, or whether it is, starting something new and knowing that you are going to build something out of it because you know that you have the skills, So this is it has a wide scope. Next point, which I also want to highlight, is that you need to be very consistent and you need to be humble. In the organic space, I think the main difference between it and paid ads is that in paid ads, you could just sit down, be on your PC all day, create ads with AI and so on, and then pump them. It sounds like more cool sort of business, but then with the organic business model, it's more like you need to go out there and create content. And I'm going to be honest, it's not for everyone. So there's a lot of people who can make over 6 figures, 7 figures even, with organic. And here's the catch, you could even turn this skill. So it's actually better, in my opinion. It's better off starting organic and then taking that entire skill set to the paid ads, and you're going to dominate. But again, it's not built for everyone, because you need to be humble enough to do it every single day, create new content, and then to take it one step forward and do the things which nobody likes to do. So whether that was going outside, recording outdoors, and having the vision that it's going to go viral. One thing I should actually mention it here, the vision. Because oftentimes, if you're doing something that's one step forward, you're not reinventing the wheel. So let's say there's a winning format that I'll literally give you a winning format which has been around for a while. This is the what's it called? McDonald's format. So they would go buy like a Happy Meal and then they would take a product out of it. So whoever came up with that, format had to go to McDonald's. Now you could take it one step forward, and that's what people did, by the way. They took it to the Pandora. So they started to create new store ideas. They would go to a random store, they would buy their product, and then they would open it and see the branded dropshipping product. So whoever came up with this idea first made the most money. Why? Because they had the courage to take an old proven concept and recreate it, but then do it better. So at the time, like imagine yourself being the first person who did this. You would require a lot of, strong will or vision to actually believe in yourself that it's going to go viral. And the way I like to think about it, whenever I'm trying to recreate an old winning format, by the way, this format can be, or this idea can be applied to any other format. So look at the data, see what has worked in the past, and then try to take it one step forward, whether take it to your niche, do it better, and so on. So as long as it has worked in the past, then you're not reinventing the wheel. I want to make that clear. So whoever brought this or done this first had to go through the same thing we're talking about here. He had to have he had to be delusional first of all, and he had to have the vision. The next thing is gonna be patience. So obviously you want to be putting daily input. Okay, you don't want to be very consistent on day one, so posting like 5-10 times on day one, and then day two you post like one time, and then zero, and then one. No, you're better off posting like twice a day for an entire month, so times 30, than posting like 5 times for the first 3 days and then quitting. Because a lot of people think that it would only take a week to determine whether it's a winner or not. It's not true. You need at least like 10 to 20 days, and that's just to determine whether the account is good. The product requires some time to determine whether it's a winner or not. Primarily after going viral, and then seeing whether the format that you went viral with is high converting or not, right? And then checking the reach. There's a lot of factors that can determine whether your product was the problem or not. Oftentimes it's not even the product that was the problem. Here's the final point, because this is actually the most important one. Today, I think the biggest problem is ethics and values. This is the number one dilemma of today. Because you have the option to run the pump and dump, the new stitching and AI backshipping products, and people are doing like 5 to 10k days with this, but at what cost? Like, it's very unethical, and it could actually get a lot of disputes. You have to pick a choice, right? Either you go for the branded side or you go for the pump and dump. And I see a lot of guys, even your favorite influencers, the newer ones, they're just going for the unbranded, the pump and dump, unethical way. And then you see the OGs are going for the branded way. I guess that tells you something. So, and I want to make one thing very clear. You could actually go 10k beyond per day with branded products. It doesn't have to be pump and dump. Okay, you just need to put everything, like, no plan B. You just all in on this one product. Make sure you're better than everyone, and either take it to a new market, whether it's like a new language or new platform, better format, new format. So yeah, that's my final point about this, is that right now there's a lot of temptations. It's been like that for like a year now, but I think now it's more than ever. So here's the thing. You could make it better by going for the branding, because at the end of the day, they're going to have to dump their accounts. Meanwhile, you could just keep on printing with a branded product for years to come. So it's up to you to choose. So yeah, these were like my final thoughts for the day, but primarily I would say the most important is to be delusional, have some self-belief, have a vision, and have values. So hopefully this has widened your perspective about the game and made it clear that you're not the only one going through this. If this has helped you in any way, subscribe, join my Discord. We have Sunday calls every week, so we do Q&A, product research, and so on. And then also, if you'd like to be part of the affiliate team, let me know on Discord. Free mentorship, and you work on my new brand coming in April. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.